Everyone, and happy Thursday. How are you, Lesley?
I'm awesome. Despite
Oh,
some work craziness going on, I think it's good. I'm excited for the holidays, planning for the new year, figuring out my pipeline. It's good. I'm good. How are you?
you did a nice planning day the other day for your.
I did. I
Right.
love taking a day in December and reviewing my year, planning for the next year. Where do I want to be? What kind of clients? What kind of revenue? How do I get there? So,
Yeah.
yes, I love December. It's my favorite.
Yeah, we did that planning too. My executive team and I have two meetings and we plan for the next year. It is something everyone should be doing. And today I want to specifically talk about sales and what is a sales conversation? What should it be like? And why does it make designers so nervous? Right? Creatives in general tend to be very nervous when they talk money,
Yes.
right? This is something you struggled with in the beginning.
Oh, absolutely. And I think for a lot of designers, creatives, because this work tends to come easy to us, not that it's an
Mhm.
easy job, but because the creative portion, the intellectual property portion comes easy, it can be really challenging to charge well for it and to justify it sometimes, especially if you are not talking to an ideal client. That's a whole separate conversation. But yes, talking money is wickedly uncomfortable and it takes practice. And I want to say that right off the bat that this isn't something that you are necessarily born with. This is not easy. It can be learned and it takes practice to get comfortable. And I wouldn't even say get comfortable. It takes practice just to keep showing up and doing it, even though you are uncomfortable.
Yeah, and as I hear you talking, I sit there and go, the first step is you believing you're worth it, right? That imposter syndrome just keeps coming up. What sales is people just get so uptight about the word sales. So what if we took that out of the equation, right?
I
And
like
just said you're presenting your services for what price? Period. Don't say the word sales. Don't say it in your head like I'm going into a sales call. No, I'm having a discovery call, then I'm going into a consult, and then I'm presenting a proposal. You never have to say the word sales,
yes.
right? So I think that sort of helps everyone because then if you say the word sales, everyone thinks I'm not a natural born salesperson. And yeah, there are natural born salespeople. We've seen them, right? They can sell you anything. But the bottom line is that's not necessarily a good thing when you're in interior design because then you're going to sell a client and they're going to have buyer's remorse if you're too good.
I agree. You can be quite convincing, you can learn the skills, and then sometimes it doesn't always go well. So I think there's reading the room, as it were, in addition to being learning how to be a good salesperson. And
Right. And you have to learn to just state the facts, right? And if you look at yourself, and this is a trick I used in the beginning, I'm an employee of a company that's made a decision that the hourly rate is this,
Mhm.
my margin on furnishings is this, my consult fee is this, my project management fees are this. Can you do better? No, I'm sorry, it's the company policy. This is the company, right? So you're the owner of the company, but if you remove that stress from yourself when you're talking to the client, it makes you realize you, as the owner of the company, you've set the company policy. But while you're sitting in front of that client, you're the employee delivering the policy of the company.
I love that mindset shift where it's easy to think, oh, because I'm the owner or the lead designer, of course I can change the price. No, this is our company policy. This is the
Correct.
proposal. Take it or leave it. And of course, not that blunt, but that's kind of the idea of you've done the work, you have your policy, you have your pricing, you're presenting to a client. And I've learned this from a million podcasts and I love it. This idea of just saying the price in a very neutral way, as if, you were saying instead of dollars, you were saying hot dogs. Like it'll be 5,000 hot dogs. Like
Right.
it's
Right.
not it's just it's a word.
It's a word. Well, in the academy, the Profit Insider Academy, I always say to everyone, I want in this year for you to become as comfortable talking about money as you are talking about breakfast with
Yeah.
no emotion.
Yeah.
No emotion. If breakfast is emotionless for you. I guess it depends on your state, but it's if you make it a big deal, it's going to feel like a big deal.
The
If you
clients can
don't,
sense that when you're
they
feeling
feel your
uncomfortable. They
anxiety.
do, they do.
Okay. And as a body language trainer, I can tell you it absolutely comes across when someone's anxious about presenting a price. So when you take the emotion out of it and just present it, the facts, this is the service and this is the price, then You said it before we went live. What happens? What do you do?
Shut up.
Yes, you shut up. People talk too much.
I've been guilty of that. You say the price and then you get uncomfortable and then you just keep rambling. Oh, I know it sounds expensive, blah, blah, blah. Or you just, it's like verbal diarrhea. You just keep talking because you're so uncomfortable. And it is a real power move. And it takes real confidence to just say the price and shut up and wait. And holy cow, I have done that. And my heart has been pounding. And I'm trying to keep my face neutral.
Face neutral, hands neutral, everything's neutral.
$5,000.
Right,
You,
right.
the whole package has to be there. And again, this takes practice. It sounds silly. Practice with a friend, practice with your partner. Just say it alone in your office over and over and over again and learn to stop talking.
And I'm even going to go back further, right? So what the sales conversation is the very first time you get on the phone with the client.
Yeah.
So if you're rambling and babbling and telling them all your pricing, and if you do this, it'll be this price, and if you go that route, it'll be this price, but sometimes it's this, and then maybe it's this, but then I actually have to go in and look to be definitive. I listen to these things and I'm like, oh, please stop talking. Please stop talking, right? We role play with our clients sometimes when they're like, I can't quite get, we teach the Desire Sales Formula. It's an acronym. It is literally the steps you need to close a client into a paid consult. And if you use it in the consult properly, you'll close them into one of your service models. And the key is what each step I say, listen, talk, right? Don't talk in certain stages. Let the client tell you everything they want. And you should be thinking, do I have a service model that serves them? And do I want this client? Do I want this job? You should be interviewing them simultaneously and being a really good active listener. That is going to make the sale more likely than you trying to wait to talk over them to tell them, oh my God, how much I could do for you.
Yes, I love that point because I think we are all waiting to talk, thinking of, we want to show that we're the expert, that we know what we're doing and share about. People feel the most connected with you when you listen to them. You can say very little and they will think they had the best conversation with you because they felt heard, they felt understood.
Yes.
And this job, this industry is so intimate. We are involved in people's money. We're in their underwear drawers. I mean, like, this gets real.
Yeah, you're in their homes. I mean, what's more personal than that, right?
So listening, it builds trust. It's that know, like, and trust factor. And they may not be able to put their finger on it, but they're just like, I liked that person. I liked that designer. I felt like they understood me. I felt connected. It is much easier to close a sale, to book a consult, and the client likes you and feel like you value them and their time and their thoughts.
Yes. And I think that even though we're sharing our knowledge, like when someone comes onto my calendar for an application review call for the academy, I try to give them one or two tips. I try to answer at least one question, truly, coachingly, like give fully, whether they're coming into the academy or not, whether they're a candidate for the academy or not. I want to give value, even though it's, a free review call. And you should feel the same way when you can give, but don't overgive. Don't be like, oh my God, I walked out of the consult and I know they paid me, but I feel like I didn't give enough. I didn't give, too many tips. Client really feels good if you can give 2 to 3 really valuable tips that are going to save them time, money, and mistakes. So that is part of the sales conversation. And I don't think people understand it. If you're going to use the word sales, understand it starts from when they see you to when they no longer see you.
Yeah, it's the entire
and after with the emails and the communicate, it is the whole process until they sign the contract and pay you the money. And even then it continues, right? You do a whole presentation in the academy for your furniture presentations, right? For your, right? And you teach how you do it.
Because you're still selling at that point. If you show up at your detailed design meeting and you've got your plans, your 3D renders, your materials, your quotes, like you are buttoned up, if you just throw it on the table and be like, go for it, that's a completely different experience than walking them through in a logical order. And there is a recommended order that we share in the membership site in that training to present it. And it's funny because I've never thought of it as I'm selling right now. But of course, you want to present things in a way that brings clients in emotionally, that they feel heard and understood. And there is a way to do it that doesn't, I would never say someone's been like, are you trying to sell me? Like it doesn't come across like that. It's just like, wow, this is amazing. You really get me. This looks phenomenal. here's the check. And I've seen such a difference when I've been more intentional at those touch points along the way, that I am selling, that I am showcasing what I want them to do and guiding them a certain direction.
And the quality of your presentation matters when it comes to selling the product. And we have some exciting new sponsors coming on for 2024. So we won't mention that now, but it's definitely the entire way you're selling. And besides listening, the other thing that's coming to my head, number one way to sell better is to stop talking and listen more,
So good.
right? Number two is the right amount of enthusiasm. And when I say the right amount, I don't want like, I always teach, because I'm a body language trainer. Also, as you know, I teach hand gestures and things, and we don't want jazz hands. Like we don't want over enthusiasm when you're presenting, but we want enthusiasm. Like, oh my God, look at this great sofa I found, and look at, right? Your enthusiasm is going to be contagious, but it has to be enthusiastic without being salesy. Don't be overly enthusiastic, because then it seems to the client like you're pushing too hard.
You're
So this
hiding
is real,
something.
right? And you're trying to cover up on something, right? If you're overly enthusiastic about something that you're making a lot of money on, and you're like, right? So you've got to learn to take a deep breath, slow and steady, state the facts, happy enthusiasm, but not oversell yourself and not talk too much.
Just a few things to keep in mind. And that's
All
why
simultaneously. Right, right. Also, while you're saying, you have choice 1 and 2, and using your hand gestures and your body language and paying attention and eye contact, and all the stuff that we teach in the academy is all part of the sales conversation. And I just look at it as you're presenting yourself and they're buying you and what you're recommending. So present the facts. Don't be too pushy. Don't be too salesy, but be enthusiastic and know what to say and know when to shut up and just listen. That's all.
That's all.
That's all. The cool thing is that we teach this every day in the Profit Insider Academy, and we're starting our next group on January 3rd. There's already 6 or 7 people in. I have to count. We're still taking applications. So if anyone is struggling with growing their business, being profitable, process, sales, marketing, branding, we just do it all. It really covers accounting, bookkeeping. It covers your entire business throughout the year. And the email we sent this morning, I had forgotten. Lauren Lim is one of my designers from the past, and she's still with me, I believe. And she basically said within 3 months, I think she tripled her profitability and her income. So I just get so frustrated personally when I see so many designers who are struggling in the group, right? Our Facebook group. And I sit there and go, everybody needs this. Everybody needs this. But we also know that I'm not going to be too salesy either. You have to be ready.
Yes. I love
You have to
that.
be ready.
I always feel very confident encouraging designers to apply and book a call with you, because you're going to be truthful. If they're not ready, if they're not a fit,
Yes.
I love that you offer them value on the call, even if they're not a fit, and help direct them to somewhere or someone that could be a better fit for them.
Definitely, definitely. And sometimes it's a little hard love too, right? Because someone will come and say, I only need this one thing, and your program gives me so much more. And I'll be like, you don't know what you don't know. And I hear a lot that you could use most of what we're teaching, and it would change your business completely. But it's hard to convince somebody when they're not ready. So I always look at that and go, they're not ready. Not having the money is not an excuse to me, because you're going to make the money back. You're going to make it back. We have such a successful program here that I can never make guarantees, because you still have to do the work. The people have to do the work. But all of our testimonials end up saying somewhere, if you do what Nancy and Lesley says, you're going to make your money back tenfold, right? Just keep doing it. So anyway, the Profit Insider Academy applications are open now. We've got 6 or 7 people in the group already, starting in January. We still keep it as a small group, maybe 11, 12 is max. So if you are interested and you're struggling with the profitability of your interior design business, anything, staffing, sales, marketing, process, branding, accounting, bookkeeping. What else am I missing?
Website, SEO, your bio, your business in words.
Networking.
Yes.
social media marketing, in-person marketing. We cover it all in this group step by step, but also we cover it when you need us to cover it, because if you come into our program, you have access directly to our phones, both mine and Leslie's, in our business helpline. Haven't checked this morning to see how many messages that yet I have, but every morning I wake up to certain messages and they come in throughout the day. You answer, I answer. So no one ever gets left stuck without a decision in their business. We become their business partners, right? No, don't do this, do that. Try this, let's try that. Say this, don't say that, right? We help them through every moment, and giving them the guts, most of all, to have the right sales conversation at the right time, not go ahead of themselves.
We get a lot of Voxers from our designers who, I have a presentation tomorrow, I'm feeling anxious, and we're just able to pep talk them.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, the designers, they know how to do it. They just need that confidence, that courage. And that's such a huge asset, is to be able to message one or both of us and say, hey, I'm really nervous about this. Can you help me? Can you give me some tips?
Yep.
And we hear afterwards what an impact that had on that conversation with the client.
Yeah. Oh my God, it went great. And I got my biggest design fee ever.
You hear that over and
really
over. I got my biggest design fee ever.
Yeah. And the most profit ever.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, we have testimonials coming in almost every day this week because one of our groups is ending, and the success has been incredible. I want as many designers in this program as I can get, because I want to help as many people as I can in 2024. And I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely. Everyone needs a coach. And if this sounds appealing to you, then apply. Talk to Nancy. And if it's not a fit, we will make it clear. And if it is, I'm excited for you, because everything's going to change in 2024.
Everything's going to change in 2024. Everybody who comes into the program, I'm like, welcome to the Profit Insider Academy. Your life's going to change over the next year. And I'm like, so excited. So, all right. So if you are struggling with your sales, marketing, or anything else we mentioned, and you really want help once and for all, and not spin your wheels and stay in the same place year after year, and now that it's post-COVID, it's really business as usual. You have to actually work to get business. It's not just flowing in the door like it was for 2 years. Join the Academy. We can help you. And there's a link in the description. Did I miss anything, Lesley?
No, that's great. That's a mic drop. Boom. Come join Profit Insiders.
Okay. And we will see you next week. We still have one next week prior to the holidays, I believe, correct?
Yes.
I think so. All right, everyone, go have a great Thursday, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Lesley.
Bye, everyone.